Alright, trips, how we doing? I was going to come on day live tonight, but my wee boy is no going with his grandpa tonight because his grandpa's sister died, so uh, my son's grandpa has got funeral stuff taken a honor, so um, I'm just going to have a quiet one. But before, I would just thought I'd come on and do a video before I just fucking have a chilled one, know what I mean? And the thing I wanted to talk about, right, was something that happened quite a while back, right? Um, it was while I was out in the community, um, after serving a few year, a 4 year sentence, right? So I was out on non-parole licence. It's basically you're just out on parole, but it was like I know this has got to sound mad, but I didn't get parole. So when you're doing a sentence, you got for parole halfway through it. And when I mean a sentence, I mean like 4 year and up. That's classed as long term in Scotland, right? I think it used to be 2 year, in fact, but they upped it for whatever reason. So if you don't get parole at the halfway mark, you go out after 2/3. Well, this was the case while I was doing this sentence. I think they've actually changed it all again. Now you're getting released 6 months before your sentence finishes. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, so I was out in the community under licence conditions, and it's like you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go here and go there and talk to this cunt and that cunt, right? So anyway, um, back when this happened, I was like, what, 18, not even 19 yet, right? Um, and I was just running about like a pure maniac, mate. I was carrying weapons all the time, fucking chasing cunts up and down the streets, through shops, fucking everything, man. It just, and shit was happening to me as well. Obviously, I've explained a few times how I've been stabbed and this and that, and I'll get into other stuff that's happened to me in some other video. But this thing that happened was so I went up to there was this couple that I was quite pally with, right? They were a bit older than me, so say I'm 18, 19 at the time, they were like mid-20s, right? Used to go up their house, get full of swedges, get a drink and all that, blah blah blah, right? So um the the guy actually, he was giving me solid to punt as well, right? It was alright, man. Just getting me a couple of quid in my pocket. But I was watching their house one night, right? And I'm sitting there out my tits, mate. It's full of alcohol and swedges, ectos, right? And I remember what I was listening to. I was listening to the Marshall Mathers LP, right? That's what I was sitting listening to. And my what the fuck are you doing, Spike? He fell off a chair. Fucking crackers, man. Um, Anyway, what was I fucking saying there? Aye, so I'm sitting, right, and my phone goes, right. So this is like when mobiles were just fucking coming out, right? And it was this boy for another scheme that I was pally with. And he's got a bra, right? So him and his bra, one of them's phoned me and said, Chris, we're boxing with the so and so ones, another scheme that none of us got on with, right? Um, and I had always had friction with this particular area. There was always millions of them. There was this one scheme, right? And like normally all of us were pals with this scheme and that scheme, and we'd go to their scheme and they'd come to our scheme. We'd sit and get for in houses, not. But this one scheme, I never heard of them ever linking up with any other scheme. And there was always millions of them, and fair play to them, know what I mean? They were always tight knit, close. If they caught you, you were in trouble, man. You were getting messed up, know what I mean? if they caught you in the right place at the right time. But what ended up happening was, so one of these boys phoned me and says, Chris, we're boxing with the so-and-so ones. And I says, where are you? And he told me where he was. And then, funnily enough, it was right outside where I was sitting. So I've put how the Yale lock, you pull it back and you put the wee hang down and it holds the door, stops it from locking. So I've hung with that, right? Jammed my mobile phone in the landing door to hold the door open. This is how fucked up and out my nut I was, right? And I've went outside, and as I've walked outside, see the scheme that my pal was boxing me, there was about 4 of them just stoning, like, they're stoning out here, they're stoning out here, and something's obviously going to kick off, right? So, one of this scheme, who one of them's walked up to me and says, Chris, we've not got an issue with you, we want to fight with him. But the cunt that came up to me at the time, I never knew him personally, but he had pulled a blade on a pal of mine, and I was there. I think it was the year before, and we didn't batter him, funnily enough, even though he put his knife away, which I think, looking back at the time, that's what should have happened. But obviously now I think a bit more logical now. I wouldn't be in this position where a cunt's pulling a kitchen knife out on somebody that I'm with, because I wouldn't put myself in that position, know what I mean? No anymore anyway. So he's like, we don't want any problem with you, we want to fight with him, pointing at the cunts that had just phoned me. And I've walked out to all them. Now there's about 10 of them. They could have just wiped these cunts out, but some of the cunts that were standing there just weren't they would just stand there and make out they were doing this and that, but they would never do it, right? So I've walked up to them that, won't be attacking these cunts. And the cunt that fought me and his brother, the freeze of, just ran at them and just started fucking heavy attacking them, right? And they were fighting back, right? It wasn't like we were just beating them up. They were going for it. Do you know what I mean? So this was how fleeing I was. I swear to God, this was one time where I've been fighting. I actually think, like, you could tell I was on something that night, because I was fucking it was like I wasn't running out of petrol at all. Like, it was like I'd unlimited strength or whatever, and that's what happens when obviously you're taking drugs and all that, innit? Or whatever you're doing at the time. So one of them pointed, funnily enough, before we attacked these cunts, somebody, the crowd that I was standing in, pointed at one of them and said, he's a kickboxer. And I was like, well, I'll take him in, see, like, as if to say, well, you don't need to fucking worry about it, know what I mean? Because some, no got to lie, some of the cunts, like, that were there were just like, just non-trials, know what I mean? But you're always going to have cunts like that, like cunts that they'll talk the talk but they won't walk the walk, know what I mean? And kind of fair play to them at the end of the day, because they're not ending up in the fucking jail and all this shit. But these are the type of cunts, when you do something, they end up fucking getting statements against you, know what I mean? So choose your company carefully. But I've been fighting this cunt, and I swear to God, the twos were just smashing each other like a fucking, like, gone punch for punch, kick for kick, man. It was fucking, there was something in my head, right, that actually said, it was like, you better overwhelm this cunt or he's going to take you right to the wire, know what I mean? And that's not happening, man. So I've just put the foot down, man, and I was just fucking, like, see, like, just pure smashing, like, with punches, like, just try to hit him with that many, we just, so it worked. But so the cunts just started, like, trying to get away from me, right? And fucking what's ended up happening was they've all started, like, trying to get in this close, and fucking some cunt flung a brick and it bounced off the front of the close and it bounced off the buzzer panel, right, and came back and whacked me right in the fucking head, and I was down the ground like, you fucking bastard. So it was one of the ones, right, and fucking the cunt that flung the brick came out and goes, you alright? I says, I am alright, who did you mean to hit with that prick? And he's pointed at one of these cunts that have just ran out and started pure doing them, right? Fucking carnage, man. So, what's ended up happening was two cunts have come out the next building, who I knew very, very well. They were close. I'd known them all my life. They've just appeared out of nowhere with baseball bats, started smashing these cunts and all that. I think one of them get their arm broke. So, the next day, there was a lot of injuries that night. But here, this was the mad thing, right? See when the fighting stopped, no stopped. You know what I mean? Like when I was like, right, I'm boosting. I ran back to that house I was in, right, and this copper ran up behind me, right. This is no joke. Don't know how I got away with this, right? Because I'd blood splattered all on my face and I didn't even know. And when I've got into the building, I've heard, "Oh, you stop!" And I've turned round. It's this big kind of heavy set cop, right? And he's like, "What was going on out there?" And me, pure cool as a fucking cucumber, was like, I was up my auntie's house, I'm going back up the house, these cunts all started fighting, I got hit in the head with a brick, mate. I says, I don't want to press charges, but they let me go. Fucking hell, mate. Talked my way right out that. And I went up the lift and I'm thinking, here, how the fuck did that even happen? How did he know even just say, well, can I detain you for, well, they're not asking you, are they? They're not fucking doing it, innit? So, I went up the house and I'm sitting, man, I'm just sitting drinking my booze now, and my pals have come back. This is all happened while they've left me in their house and they've come back, man, and the bird's like, what the fuck happened to you? And that's how I realised, I was like, what? She's like, there's blood all over your face. And obviously it wasn't mine. And I went and looked in the mirror in the toilet and I was like, holy fuck. I washed it off, but the next day, I was in my auntie's house. Now, the back of my auntie's house looked onto the front of my house, right? But at a right angle, right? And there was like stairs next to my house leading down to the car park, right? And I've seen two cunts coming up the stairs and pointing right at my window. They were CID, they were, you know, the way they dress, know what I mean? You can spot them, usually you can spot them a mile away, but it was just pure weird how I noticed them. And as they're walking along the front of my close, my pals are walking in the opposite direction to go and buzz for me, but I was in my auntie's house, know what I mean, and fucking they've stopped and searched my pals and everything, and one of them was one of the ones that was there. So, a couple of months later, I got recalled to prison for a serious assault, right? Stabbing a guy in a house. Part of the same kind of shit, like he's for there and I'm for here, and they've done this to me, so I'm doing that to them, that kind of piss, right? So, I went back in June 2001, right? And was due to get out on February 2002. So, and I think I might have explained this somewhere else, how I was due on the Tuesday, right, but see the Thursday the week before, took to Glasgow Sheriff, man, hit with an indictment for like 4 serious assaults, like an indictment with 4 serious assault charges on it. And I'm like, fucking hell, man, just finished that 4, went back and done the recall, right, and now 4 days or whatever after I'm due to get out, boom. Know what I mean? Fucking fuming, so I was, man. And the mad thing was that on the day I was meant to go out, I was took to Berlin, right? And so I was get arrested for Pullman on the day I was meant to go out, took to Berlin to finish a 7-day lie down. But I'd already done a few days of that in Pullman, obviously, not what I mean? And when I went to court after 7-day lie down, they gave his bail because I was quite young, and they basically, my lawyer was like, man, he's fucking spent so long inside, and he was only a young boy, so all that pish, and they let us out. But the ironic thing is, see, the thing that I got recalled for, that stabbing, I still had that to go to court for. This is, you couldn't make this up. So the one with the fucking 4 serious assaults on it, my lawyer phones me one day, that indictment get dropped, right? Which I was pretty thankful for, because 4 serious assaults, man, what you getting for that? Know what I mean? You've just finished a 4 for abduction, mate. And I still had that other one to go up for, see the one that stabbed the guy in the house. But the one that where I got recalled for stabbing somebody in the house, man, that was mad and all, man. It was these boys for another scheme who I'd explained before. See the ones I was telling you about the time I get stabbed through the arm? Same cunts. This is years later, I'm still fucking arguing with them, know what I mean? Fucking hell. So this is what happened, right? And this happened in June 2001, so this is a few months after the one that I've just explained, the big fucking mob fight outside the house, right? I went up to see my pal, right, and he wasn't in. I was with my girlfriend and to my pal's wee brother, right? He was only like 2 years younger than me, but, and I've had this knuckle duster in my pocket, right? But it wasn't a knuckle duster like brass knuckles, it was like, you ever seen the chef tools, you dice veg, it's actually like you put it around your fist and it cuts veg, and it's like half moon fucking razor blades on it, 2 of them. And I'd actually used it a couple of times, and it was pretty effective. So anyway, when I've walked out the close, I've seen these 3 cunts staring at the next close, right? And I'm looking at them, man, and one of them, like, at the time I wanted to just smash his fucking skull in, man, I'm not gonna lie. And somebody had told me that he was meant to be walking about looking for me with an axe. Don't know how true it was. And I should have questioned why somebody was telling me that, because it was, to me, it was as if they had the issue with him and they knew I just wanted to smash him anyway, so they would just go, oh, fucking light his fuse, know what I mean, fucking idiot, he'll do my dirty, but murder. But anyway, I've walked out and I've seen them standing to the left of me, and I've walked in like that, here, were you looking for me a fucking hatchet, you dafty? And he's not even said then, right? He's went back in the house. I thought he was gonna away to hide, no, he came back with a fucking pickaxe pole, a claw hammer, and a kitchen knife. And ironically, the guy that he gave the kitchen knife to didn't do nothing with it. These 3 cunts could have murdered me easily, man. And I suppose I'm lucky that they fucking didn't enter, because but the boy who I had the problem with, I thought I had the problem with, he's walked out the gate, and instead of walking in a straight line towards me along the curb, he's walked through a park, so there was this parked motor in between the two of us, and he's walking like this, look, he's doing this with his shoulders, right, but his hands behind his back, he had a claw hammer behind his back, right, but I've got my hands in my pocket, man, I'm like, as soon as you come within striking distance, I'm punching you out your socks, you cunt. And I've just stood there, and it was this mad fucking, see when he's walking towards me, I started whistling that, see like that, because it was like a pure Mexican standoff, man, but I'm just trying to fucking make funny a fucking crazy situation. And when he's got like within a kind of certain distance, I've done it, what you got to do with that, you fucking bam. See when he's done that and raised his arm with the claw hammer, I've just done that, and see pulled my knuckle duster out and went to run at him, but he sprinted back to where he'd came from, basically. And when he done that, the cunt with a pickaxe pole, he started chasing me up the fucking street with his pickaxe pole, right? And I'm running up the street, right, but sees I'm running, I've turned around to see how far up my arse he was, and sees I've turned round, he's swung it, but he's missed, and see when his arms, I've timed it, couldn't have timed it any better, see when he swung it, see when his arms came away around here, I've just stopped and just turned around and started going bang, 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 just, see, the twos fought for one side of the street and ended up on the other side of the street, that's how much we were going for it, man, just stoning fucking, he was going to get hurt, know what I mean, but he's dropped that pickaxe pole, and fucking, I'm just trying to get him on the ground just to start giving him it, man. And that was my big mistake, because when that happened, he's shouting, fucking get him off me, and I'm like, boof, and fucking, next thing I felt smash, right, out my dome, and he's just pushed me off him like I was fucked, right? But I've jumped right to my feet pure quick. He'd smashed us here, and I think like all the shoulder blades or something. With the pickaxe pole, so see the cunt at the hammer, he's put his hammer down, went and got a pickaxe pole, but he could have beat me to death, literally, he could have beat me to death, right? But when I've jumped to my feet, I don't know why, they've all ran in the house, and I started singing that Elton John I'm Still Standing, right? Like, this is how fucking mental, like, my anger was what was keeping my fucking, was probably keeping me alive back then, do you know what I mean? Just the pure fucking rage inside me, it was like a furnace, man, know what I mean? And, sees I've started singing I'm Still Standing, I just went, everything just went pure white, like I couldn't see, and I swear to God, I was like, I'm going to faint, and I started pure going, see, like pure tensing, and like as if I was fighting it off, and it went away, right? So I was like, fuck's sake, that was scary. It was really scary, right? I'm not going to lie, that was actually scary, man. I started shouting abuse right outside his front window. I'm fucking killing you, I'm going to blow your house up, all that piss, right? Know what it's like when you're 18, 19, man, you don't give a fuck. So I've walked home with my bird, right? Got my pal to roll me a couple of doobies, and so this happened at the back of 4, and I've went to hospital about 9 o'clock. How stupid. So I've went to hospital, and I'm sitting in this room waiting to get seen off a nurse, and then all of a sudden I just felt something coming out of me again. It was like, see, like a concussion, like what I'd explained what happened before outside this cunt's close when I got whacked to the dome. And I got up off the fucking thing I was lying on, and I've walked out to the nurses station, and one of the nurses was just shouting in my face, don't you faint, and I'm like, fucking get out my face, I'm going to fucking faint if you keep saying that to me, you cunt. Oh, it was like she was making us worse. I know she's only doing her job, but I just try to get away from her. I went and locked myself in the toilet and fucking sat down on it and just fucking it went away again. But ended up getting fucking staples in my head. And I had hair at the time, so I had to like shave bits off my hair and fucking staple it shut. Fucking walking about like Frankenstein, man. But anyway, so a week later, right, all I could think about was getting that cunt. So a week later, I've went up to my cousin's house. I'd received information that the cunt was in this house, right? This is my cousin who stabbed me through the arm, by the way. And I remember I'd bought a Scream robe, see that film Scream? I'd bought the robe and the mask, right? And my brother said to me, don't go in with that one, Chris. He said, some cunt will end up having a heart attack, know what I mean? So me and my brother just walked in the house and fucking attacked the cunt. I was hacking his skull with a kitchen knife, and stabbed him a few times. They weren't life-threatening injuries, didn't hit anything vital, and I think they said in court it was the stab wounds weren't that bad, but if I say that, I'm minimising it, so I don't really want to fucking, I'm not going to like say it was anything worse than what it was. Obviously to get stabbed isn't fun. Nobody's going to sit and tell you it was a good experience, because it's no. I've been there many times, mate. It's just no good. Nobody wants to be in that situation. You know what I mean? The smell of the blood and that mad iron smell. You can just smell. I don't know if any of you have been there, but it's a smell you don't forget. But anyway, after this happened, I went straight home, put all my clothes in the washing machine, washed everything I had. The coppers went to my brother's house that night and got him. And the next day, I was sitting in my living room with my girlfriend and her cousin, and the buzzers went, and I've looked out the window through the blinds. 3 CID standing at the front of the close, and I was like, uh-oh, it's like we need to go. So I watched them walk round the back to the back of the building, and as they went round the back, we went out the front, like. So ended up going getting a litre of vodka, because I knew I was going away, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck this, man. Went and got a litre of vodka, man, sat up my bird's cousin's drinking it with him. And, well, my bird's cousin, me and him were sitting drinking this litre of vodka and doing doobies and all that. And I just knew I was living on borrowed time, man. And then later on that night, the doors went, and it was fucking all sorts of coppers, man. They just jailed us straight away. So that was how I ended up getting recalled. But the purpose of this was kind of to show the total state of my life back during this time. Like, fucking, this was a regular occurrence. Things like this. But no always getting caught, no always getting to jail. But how do you think that's going to lead? Like, you're walking about just fucking carrying tools, using tools, getting tools used on you, and getting fucking partying like there's no tomorrow. It's a fake existence, man. Like, even you'll get cunts, right, for certain areas, not they're thick as thieves, and they would never ever betray their pals and all, but that wasn't my experience. When I first started doing all that shit, I had a group of pals who, we were like that, but then when I went to jail and came back out, a lot of them had kind of settled down and wisened up, whereas it was like my life was on pause all that time, so I want to come back out and do it all again, know what I mean? And the weird thing was that I always remember, see if I knew the police were looking for me or I was going to jail, I never felt anxious, I never felt worried, never felt anything at all, which is a big contrast to now, of course, obviously, because of being a single dad, bringing up a kid on my own. Anything happens to me, my son's life's as good as fucked, innit? So, that bears enormous weight on my shoulders, do you know what I mean? But even if I never had a kid, I think I still would be a bit long in the tooth, mature, whatever you want to call it. But there is always that side of you. I don't care what any cunt says, man. It's always still there. It's like I argue with it sometimes. It's like the 20-year-old me is actually like fucking following me about sometimes, man. But the 40-year-old me is more dominant. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's what my kid said to me. Is it like having an angel and a devil on your shoulder? I said, that's exactly what it's like. But years ago, back when all this was happening, the devil was the more dominant voice. But now it's the opposite, do you know what I mean? And even on my worst day, I suppose that I've got a lot to be thankful for. I'm breathing. I'm in one piece, physically at least, and living a life I've never lived before, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, even when I'm sitting just eating like a takeaway, I sit and actually say to myself in my head, I go, you're lucky, man, do you know what I mean? Not just that I'm free, that I changed my way of thinking, And that wasn't even intentional. It just kind of happened. Do you know what I mean? Um, and there's always got see this whole culture like blades, gangs, this, that. That's always got to be here. This will be here long after I'm gone. It was here long before I showed up. You know what I mean? But and when you're a wee guy with no cunt to look up to, of course you're gonna gravitate towards that because you're part of something. You're a somebody. You feel like a somebody. But see when the music stops, who's there for you? Like, where are you? What you doing with your life? Do you know what I mean? It's just fucking. Not very many people get into it and come back out it without having addiction issues, criminal convictions, fucking life ruined with prison, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just a lot of shit. Um, and I wouldn't advise them to get involved in it. Know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, you can only take the horse to the water, innit? Do you know what I mean? But that's that. But I'll maybe jump on to a live tomorrow night, see what's happening, man. As I says, I was going to do one the night when my Wayne wasn't here, but obviously he's here the night, so he'll be coming back from school, you know. So cheers for listening, and hopefully I'll bounce on tomorrow and fucking see what's happening, because it's been good weather, and then like now it started fucking raining. You're like, fuck's sake, man, make your fucking mind up, man. Fucking pish in it, Scotland for you, man. Fucking 4 seasons in one day. But like I said, cheers for listening. And I will see you next time I'm back on. Catches. Have a good Friday, by the way.